Translator. Editor, Kurisu. None dared step forth to challenge Mu Rongqing or the Rain Emperor, for both were elites of the spiritual infant tier, towering figures beyond ordinary reach. Yet Ling Han stood merely at the flower blossom tier. All present were geniuses of the current generation. Who among them would fear another when fighting within the same tier? Geniuses were proud by nature, convinced of their invincibility among equals, and thus even more fearless. Should one be able to force Ling Han to bow his head, Wang Yiyun would surely look upon that person with new regard and keep them in her thoughts. When choosing persimmons, one naturally picked the soft ones. Ling Han's lips curved into a faint smile as he said, "You all truly wish to spar with me?" "Of course," the crowd answered one after another. "If you lose, hand over the bottle." "Very well," Ling Han agreed without hesitation. "However, you are wagering against me with empty words. If I win, what benefit do I gain? If you wish to spar, then take out treasures, none lower than 6th tier. Who's afraid of you?" Immediately, someone produced a treasure and set it upon the table. There were spirit medicines, rare metals, and ancient artifacts. At a glance, each bore the weight of long years. Ling Han smiled faintly and said, "Good. Those who wish to challenge me, line up. As long as you can produce a treasure, I will accept. Place your wagers together. I only accept reservations now. Come, come, come. If you wish to challenge me, set your treasure on the table. Xuanyuan, tally them." "Yes." Xuanyuan replied gently, nodding her head. They had issued a proper challenge. How had it turned into something so trivial? All were young and hot-blooded. Before such a beauty, who would willingly admit defeat? One after another, treasures were drawn forth and tossed upon the table. Xuanyuan carefully screened each offering, preventing anyone from slipping by with an inferior item. "Let me make this clear first," Ling Han said solemnly. "Once the wager is placed, there are no refunds. You may either fight me or choose not to fight and lose automatically. The bet will not be returned." He had them lay down their treasures in advance precisely to prevent anyone from retreating in fear after witnessing his true battle prowess. The youths lifted their chins and said, "Humph, you think we're afraid of you?" Ling Han glanced at the towering pile of treasures upon the table and revealed a satisfied smile. "Anyone else? Anyone else? This is your only chance. There won't be another. Those who wish to curry favor with the Wang family's young lady, hurry up. A lost opportunity never returns." He was actually advertising for himself? Wang Yiyun's expression remained serene, yet her 5 slender fingers subtly tightened, betraying the fury rising within her heart. No one else stepped forward to place a wager. In the eyes of the others, with so many challengers lining up one after another, Ling Han would surely lose, and with a single defeat, there would be no treasure bottle to claim. Why bother challenging then? Ling Han could not help but feel a trace of regret. Only this many could be lured in. He nodded and said, "To save time, those who placed wagers just now, you all come together." Pooh, the man was outrageously arrogant. How many were challenging Ling Han? At least 50. And these 50 were no ordinary youths, but present-day geniuses, each having stepped into the flower blossom tier, their battle prowess surpassing their tier. 3 to 4 stars, 5 to 6 stars. With so many geniuses joining forces, which flower blossom tier expert would dare be careless? Even fighting one after another would exhaust a man, let alone being besieged at once. Each genius valued face. Naturally, none wished to be the first to attack. Ling Han smiled faintly and said, "Since no one dares to strike, then I win. Xuanyuan, collect the wagers. Let us withdraw." "You can't leave." Seeing Ling Han about to slip away, the youths grew dissatisfied. It was not that they dared not attack. They simply did not wish to gang up on him. There would be no glory in such a victory, and who would claim the credit? Yet Ling Han was about to depart, and they could restrain themselves no longer. One after another, they leapt forth and encircled him. "I will handle all of you in 3 moves," Ling Han said with a smile. Arrogant! Flames seemed to burst from the youth's eyes. They found Ling Han utterly detestable, their tempers flaring at once. "In 3 moves, we defeat you." Sounds more fitting. Enough nonsense. There's no need for words with such an arrogant fellow. Just beat him. Agreed. At least 20 people attacked simultaneously. With a thunderous surge, martial intent spread in all directions. Origin power transformed into countless weapons. Spears, blades, sabers, striking, slashing, cleaving toward Ling Han. Various streams of qi overflowed, creating a terrifying and awe-inspiring spectacle. Ling Han only smiled faintly. Mighty origin power gathered within him, lightning crackling across his body like coiling dragons. Then he casually threw out a single punch. Ping, 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 ping! All origin power weapons shattered in an instant. Every strand of qi was annihilated. Yet the lightning did not dissipate. Instead, it spread outward with supreme speed toward the attackers. In the blink of an eye, figures were blasted skyward, then descended like scattered blossoms. Pa, 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 crashing to the ground in disarray. 20 people were defeated in a single move. 2 moves remain, Ling Han murmured. Turning to the remaining 20-plus challengers, he said, "You had best attack together. With only 2 moves left, I truly may not be able to deal with all of you." Within the encirclement, silence reigned. This youth was terrifyingly powerful. Though none among the 20-plus had received qualification for direct entry into Restore Heaven Academy, those invited to this banquet were all outstanding talents. Yet more than 20 attacking together had been swept away in one blow. Just how formidable was Ling Han? Unless there was suppression by a major tier, only the greatest geniuses of those entering Restore Heaven Academy could possess such battle prowess. The remaining 20-plus exchanged glances, none daring to strike. Their strength was not much greater than those sprawled upon the ground. Even if they could withstand a single move, what difference was there between falling in 2 moves or 3? To suffer utter defeat before so many watchful eyes, was that not pure foolishness? Fight my ass. No wonder Ling Han had demanded the wagers first. After witnessing such power, who would be foolish enough to bet? This freak. Only the absolute top geniuses granted direct entry to Restore Heaven Academy could rival him. Xuanyuan Zi beamed with delight as she gathered every treasure from the table. Other than plundering, tricking people seems to be a shortcut to earning great wealth as well. Ling Han muttered to himself. Then he laughed and raised his voice. Who else wishes to challenge me? All were speechless, their gazes turning toward the finest geniuses who possessed direct entry qualifications. Wang Yiyun's beautiful eyes shone as she said, "With Brother Ling's great might, you ought to receive qualification for direct entry into Restore Heaven Academy." Ling Han laughed and replied, "Isn't that only natural? Brother Mu Rongqing didn't qualify either, correct?" Mu Rongqing pointed at his own nose and said sourly, "Why use me as comparison again?" "Just a comparison. I did not seek your opinion, so please refrain from interrupting," Ling Han said with a smile. Then he turned to Wang Yiyun. "Lady Wang, may we take our leave?" "Brother Ling, this time Yiyun invited everyone here to discuss a matter. Please remain seated for a moment," Wang Yiyun urged gently. "The food tastes terrible. Can't sit anymore." Hunyu slammed the table, her face filled with displeasure. Hearing this, the crowd inwardly lamented for Wang Yiyun. The Wang family had undoubtedly expended great effort and wealth to host this banquet, yet in Hunyu's mouth it became neglect of guests. Truly an injustice. Translator, Reverie, Editor, Kurisu. Wang Yiyun did not so much as cast a glance toward Hunyu. Though this little lass was likewise astonishingly monstrous, she was, in the end, still tender in years. The one worthy of true notice was Ling Han. Ling Han contemplated for a moment, then spoke. "Very well. Let us hear what you wish to discuss." Wang Yiyun's lips curved in a faint smile, gentle as a spring breeze beneath a warm sun, as though nothing beneath the heavens could stir her tranquil heart. "This time, I have invited all of you chiefly for a proposal. Each of you is a genius of the present age. When the Restore Heaven Academy opens its gates, many among you will have the opportunity to step within." She paused briefly before continuing. "Yet wherever there are people, there are divisions. Circles within circles. The 5 great sects possess their own circle. The East region and North region each form circles of their own. Should anyone stand alone or belong to a weaker faction, they will surely suffer oppression at that time." Unconsciously, the crowd nodded in agreement. Within their respective sects and clans, they were without question the finest talents, the pride of their generation. But once within the Restore Heaven Academy, the geniuses of the vast lands would gather like clouds converging in the sky. There, they would be reduced to the ordinary, perhaps not even qualified to enter its gates. Ling Han himself was proof of this. Though he too stood at the flower blossom tier, his battle prowess was so terrifying that it made one's hair stand on end. Those who had offended him now, would they not fear being suppressed by him once inside the academy? After all, neither family nor sect could extend their protection within those walls. Thus, Yi Yun has a proposal. Wang Yi Yun said steadily, "Let us form an alliance, watch over one another, and together resist those from other circles." Only now did her true intention reveal itself. This banquet was a net cast wide, to gather the geniuses for her own purposes. Though those present belonged to the younger generation, they were destined to become the future pillars of their families and sects. Should such individuals fall under her influence, the force she commanded in years to come would not be one to be ignored. Ling Han's curiosity was piqued. He asked, "And this alliance, who shall serve as its leader?" Wang Yiyun's gaze once more swept toward Ling Han before she replied, "My senior brother, Lang Yatian, is naturally the most suitable choice." Lang Yatian, an unparalleled figure among the younger generation of the Middle State, standing shoulder to shoulder with Yao Huiyu and Small Saber King, his strength was unfathomable. He had struck down geniuses of an older generation, his might unpredictable and profound. The crowd felt convinced at once. With Lang Yatian guiding them, who would they need to fear? Ling Han smiled faintly. Raising his hand, he declared, "I wish to be this alliance's leader. Yes or no?" Wang Yiyun's smile did not falter. "Since we form an alliance, all must naturally be decided by strength. If Brother Ling believes his power surpasses that of my senior brother, then you may challenge him. The stronger shall take the seat." "Very well. Summon Lang Yatian, and let us have a proper exchange." Ling Han replied with a smile. Wang Yiyun's index finger twitched almost imperceptibly, murderous intent flickering in her heart. Why did this man always oppose her at every turn? She said, "My senior brother is currently cultivating in seclusion. He stands on the brink of crossing into the deity transformation tier and cannot be disturbed." "What? The deity transformation tier? Heavens! Lang Yatian is not yet 40, is he? At most 40. A deity transformation tier at 40 years of age, truly terrifying." Exclamations rose one after another. They themselves hovered around the flower blossom tier, yet the foremost genius of the present age was already breaking into the deity transformation tier. The gap was so vast, it inspired despair. Yet if they were to join the alliance, then naturally the stronger the leader, the better. Wang Yiyun's gaze returned to Ling Han. "If Brother Ling remains unconvinced, Yiyun may fight in my senior brother's stead. However, my cultivation is shallow, and my talent does not even reach 1/10,000th of senior brother's. At best, I possess 1% of his strength." She belittled herself first, only to elevate Lang Yatian to immeasurable heights. If Ling Han struggled to defeat her, or worse, fell short, what qualification would he have to challenge Lang Yatian? This woman was truly formidable. Ling Han smiled faintly. Lang Yatian is indeed fortunate to have at his side a confidant and better half such as you. The moment these words fell, countless young men erupted inwardly with fury. In their hearts, Wang Yiyun was a goddess, a celestial maiden untouched by mortal dust. Should she descend into worldly entanglements, how could she still remain a fairy? A flash of killing intent crossed Wang Yiyun's eyes. She admired Lang Yatian and was willing to sacrifice for him. To win over more people, she had to maintain her lofty fairy image. Yet Ling Han's words sought to drag her down from that pedestal. At last, she could restrain herself no longer. "Brother Ling, since you are not convinced of my senior brother, then allow Yiyun to fight in his stead." "Wait!" At that instant, a figure streaked in like lightning, tall and imposing. Divine golden radiance revolved about his entire body, as though a deity had descended upon the mortal realm. Ling Han revealed a look of astonishment. It was Xuanyuan Zi Guang. "So it is Brother Xuanyuan." Wang Yiyun's smile returned at once. She introduced him to the gathering. "Xuanyuan Zi Guang, a genius of this age, surely known to all. Brother Xuanyuan has already agreed to join our Striking Heaven Alliance as one of its 5 deputy leaders." Xuanyuan Zi Guang, long renowned. Even he accepts a deputy leader's seat. This Striking Heaven Alliance is indeed formidable. "I wish to join, no one stopped me." Xuanyuan Zi Guang paid no heed to the crowd, his gaze fixed solely upon Ling Han. "Where is Lady Helion?" Ling Han stroked his chin. How had this fellow recognized him? Then again, who knew was an unmistakable sign. Was there another little girl in the world who could eat so much and fight so fiercely? He snorted coldly. A defeated opponent. What business is it of yours? Defeated opponent? The crowd drew in sharp breaths. Xuanyuan Zi Guang had clashed with him and lost? Xuanyuan Zi Guang's gaze turned ominous. If you do not tell me Lady Hylian's whereabouts, I will kill you today. Ling Han shook his head. Your wits are truly lacking. A defeated rival still dares to posture so boldly? Xuanyuan Zi Guang strode toward Ling Han in great steps. With each footfall, heaven and earth seemed to tremble, as though even the stars in the firmament could not endure his presence and were on the verge of falling. He raised a finger and pointed at Ling Han. Since our last exchange, how much do you think I have improved? With that gesture, a saber ray burst forth from his fingertip. Thin as silken thread, yet brimming with lethal danger, saber ray. A fierce warning rang within Ling Han's heart. This was no pseudo-ray. It was a genuine saber ray. Had Xuanyuan Zi Guang truly cultivated 30 flashes of qi, a genius of his caliber would never sacrifice the future for fleeting strength. If he had condensed a ray, then he must indeed have reached 30 flashes of qi. Was he the first among the younger generation to achieve 30 flashes and form a ray? Even one as powerful as Small Saber King remained stalled at 29 flashes. This Xuanyuan Zi Guang was truly extraordinary. Ling Han did not believe that such progress could be achieved by effort alone. Whether Small Saber King or Yao Huiyu, their talents were in no way inferior to Xuanyuan Zi Guang's. Perhaps even superior. Why had they failed to break through, while only Xuanyuan Zi Guang succeeded? It was most likely his bloodline, granting him the ability to forcibly elevate his battle prowess by several stars and even manifest the phantoms of divine beasts.